Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a time in your life when you have to stop waiting for permission to be great. That time is now. Let me remind you of a truth you may have forgotten. You are born to win. Not maybe, not possibly. Born to win. It's in your DNA. It's in your spirit. You were not put here to struggle endlessly without reason. You were put here to grow, to thrive, and to become the highest version of yourself. You see, life doesn't care about your excuses, your fears, or your past. Life only responds to your actions, and when you decide to act like a winner, think like a winner, speak like a winner, then life has no choice but to respond in kind. Too many people are walking around with loser talk in their mouths, saying, "I'll never make it. It's too late. I'm not good enough." Let me tell you something. If you speak defeat, you'll live in defeat. But if you speak victory, you'll start attracting victory. You are not what you've been through. You are what you choose to become, and you can choose to win. Yes, it's hard. Yes, life throws curvy balls. Sometimes you fall on your face. Sometimes you lose your way. Sometimes you cry alone in the dark. But that does not mean you are done. That does not mean you're finished. That only means you've been tested. And if you're being tested, it means you still have something worth fighting for. Don't let the pain of the process make you forget the power of your purpose. Winners don't run from the storm. They learn to ride the lightning. They say, "If I'm going through it, then I'm growing through it." Ladies and gentlemen, some people were given every opportunity, money, support, connections, and they still never did anything with it. You may not have had any of that, but you've got something more valuable. You've got hunger. You've got drive. You've got a reason to rise. And when you have that burning why inside you, no mountain is too high, no valley too deep. When your dream becomes non-negotiable, the universe moves out of your way. But you've got to keep going. You've got to dig deep and get back up every time life knocks you down. Understand this. The enemy of winning is not losing. It's quitting. Every champion has scars. Every successful person has stories of struggle, nights of doubt, days of despair. But they kept going because they knew what I'm telling you now. You are born to win. You've got more inside you than you even realize. Your job is to reach in and pull it out, to stop settling for just enough, and go after what you deserve. Not what's convenient, not what's easy, what you deserve. You were not born for mediocrity. You were born for mastery. Winners decide that their destiny is more important than their distractions. While others sleep, they grind. While others doubt, they believe. While others quit, they fight. That's the difference, and that's your calling. Not to just get by in life, but to dominate in the areas that matter most, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, financially. You were born to lead, to inspire, to build, to transform, to leave a mark on this world that says, "I was here, and I gave it everything I had." So stop shrinking, stop dimming your light to make others comfortable. This is your time, this is your moment, and you don't need anyone's permission to be powerful. Look in the mirror and say it with me. I was born to win. I was born to win. I am a winner. Say it until you believe it. Say it until you become it. Say it until your results match your reality. Because once you step into that mindset, once you unleash the fire inside you, nothing can stop you. Not fear, not failure, not the opinions of others. Nothing, because when you know who you are, and you walk in that truth, victory is not optional. It's inevitable. Let's go win. Greatness is not a matter of chance. It's a matter of choice, and it's already within you. You've got to understand something powerful today. You were not placed on this earth to just take up space, clock in and clock out, live for the weekends, and die full of regrets. No, you were born with something deep inside you, something rare, something mighty, something destined to impact the world. But hear me, it doesn't activate by accident. Greatness is a decision. It's a mindset. It's a commitment. You've got to choose it every single day. There are people right now who have more talent than you. There are people who started with more money, more connections, more support. But that doesn't matter if they don't make the choice to grow, the choice to stretch, the choice to become more than they were yesterday. That's the difference between the average and the extraordinary. The average wait for the right moment, the extraordinary decide this is the moment. The average settle for good enough. The extraordinary keep climbing even after they reach the summit, because greatness is a hunger that never sleeps. Let me tell you something. It's already inside you. That power, that resilience, that brilliance. You don't need to find it in some motivational book or on a YouTube video. It's already in your spirit. But it's buried under fear, under doubt, under disappointment. Maybe somebody told you you'd never be good enough. Maybe life handed you more pain than progress. Maybe your dreams started feeling too far away to chase. But you're still breathing, aren't you? That means it's not over. That means greatness is still calling your name. You don't have to be perfect to be powerful. You don't have to have it all together to get started. All you need is the courage to say, I won't quit, I won't settle, I won't let my past dictate my future. The world is not waiting for a flawless version of you. It's waiting for the real you to stand up and say, enough is enough. I'm going after everything that belongs to me. You've got to choose that version of yourself every single day, and don't expect the world to applaud you at first. Don't expect people to see your vision. Greatness often starts in silence. It starts when nobody believes in you. It starts in the dark, in the grind, in the loneliness. That's where your character is built. That's where your fire is forged. And if you keep going, when it's hard, when it's slow, when it's thankless, you will rise. Because you're not doing this for applause. You're doing it because you must, because something inside you knows that you were born for more. Stop looking outside for the answer. The answer is you. You've been waiting for permission, waiting for the right time, waiting for someone to say, you can do this. Let me be that voice today. You can do this. You can rise from that failure. You can outgrow that fear. You can rebuild that dream, but you've got to make the choice. Greatness is not given. It's earned through discipline, through sacrifice, through relentless pursuit. Look around. Everything you admire in someone else started with a choice. The choice to fight, the choice to believe, the choice to become. You're one decision away from changing your life. One moment of clarity, one bold action, one powerful affirmation. That's all it takes to begin. And once you begin, you build momentum. And once you build momentum, you become unstoppable. So today, make the decision, not tomorrow, not someday, today. Decide that your life will reflect your potential, not your pain. Decide that your future will be written in faith, not fear. Decide that you will walk like a winner, talk like a winner, and live like a winner. Because that's exactly what you are. You don't need luck. You don't need favors. You need to remember who you are, because greatness doesn't come to those who wish. It comes to those who work. So stop waiting, start building, and never forget. Greatness is already within you. All you've got to do now is claim it. You've got to stop letting your past define your possibilities. Listen to me. Just because you've made mistakes doesn't mean you are a mistake. Just because you've failed doesn't mean you are a failure. You've been through some stuff. So what? Who hasn't? Life has knocked you down. Good. That means you're still in the ring. That means you still have a fight to give. It's not about what's behind you. It's about what's in you. And what's in you is power. What's in you is greatness. What's in you is the ability to rise again, stronger, wiser, better. Some of you are still carrying pain from 10 years ago. Some of you are dragging old heartbreaks, old betrayals, old labels that someone slapped on you when you didn't even know who you were. And you're trying to run toward your future, but you're chained to the past. You can't move forward because your mind is still replaying old scenes. But hear me, today is the day you cut that chain. Today is the day you stop playing victim to something you had no control over. That was then, this is now, and now is begging you to take your power back. You don't have to be who you used to be. You can be more, you are more. But you have to believe that your past does not limit your future. It prepares you for it. That hurt you went through, it didn't break you. It built you. That betrayal, it didn't stop you. It stretched you. That setback, it wasn't a dead end, it was a redirection. But you've got to stop letting those experiences trap you. You've got to stop rehearsing your pain and start rehearsing your power. You've got to change the narrative, rewrite the story, because the pen is in your hand now, not theirs. You see, the problem isn't what happened. The problem is what you believe about what happened. If you believe you're damaged, you'll act damaged. If you believe you're hopeless, you'll live hopeless. But if you believe you're resilient, you'll rise. If you believe you're chosen, you'll walk in purpose. If you believe you're more than your scars, you'll stop hiding them and start using them to heal others. What you believe shapes your life. So the question is, what story are you telling yourself? Is it one of defeat or one of destiny? People might judge you for your past. Let them. They don't know what it cost you to survive it. They don't know the nights you cried yourself to sleep. They don't know how many times you had to encourage yourself just to get out of bed. But you're still here. You didn't quit. And that alone makes you powerful. That makes you a warrior. That makes you a testimony in progress. So stop trying to explain yourself to small minds. Stop trying to get validation from people who haven't done half of what you've survived. You're not living to prove anything to anyone. You're living to become who you were born to be. And I know it's not easy. I know it hurts, but healing isn't easy. Growth isn't comfortable. It requires courage. It requires forgiveness, not just for others, but for yourself. You've got to let go of the guilt, let go of the shame, let go of the voice that keeps saying you're not enough. That voice is a lie. The truth is you are more than enough. You were born with everything you need to win. But you've got to forgive yourself for not knowing then what you know now. You did the best you could with what you had. Now it's time to level up. Now it's time to own your journey. So stop rehearsing what went wrong. Start visualizing what could go right. Start speaking life over yourself. Start walking like you know who you are. You're not what you went through. You're what you choose to become. And if you choose to rise, nothing can keep you down. Not your past, not your pain, not your fear. You are not broken. You are becoming. You are not finished. You are just getting started. So stand tall, lift your head, look forward, because the best chapters of your story haven't even been written yet. And this time you're writing them with power, with purpose, and with pride. There comes a time in life when you've got to shut the noise out. Shut out the critics, shut out the distractions, shut out the voice in your own head that keeps whispering you can't do it. Because let me tell you something, focus is not just about vision, it's about discipline. It's about training your mind to stay locked in on your goal, even when everything around you is pulling at you, trying to make you give up. Staying focused is a decision. Every day, you've got to wake up and choose your dream over your drama. You can't afford to be casual with your vision. Casual dreams lead to casual efforts, and casual efforts produce tragic results. You weren't born to be average. You were born to be great. But you don't get to great by doing what's easy. You get there by doing what's necessary, and that starts with focus. Laser, sharp, no excuse, no distraction focus. You've got to want it so bad that no setback, no betrayal, no hardship, no failure can make you take your eyes off what you're reaching for. Now, I know distractions come dressed in all kinds of disguises. Some look like comfort. Others look like good opportunities that aren't your opportunity. Sometimes distractions come through people who mean well but don't understand where you're headed. Listen, just because they love you doesn't mean they're qualified to lead you. You've got to protect your dream. You've got to protect your energy, because not everyone around you wants to see you rise. And it's not because they're evil, it's because your commitment to greatness reminds them of what they're not doing in their own lives. So stay focused, even if you've got to walk alone for a while. And let's talk about mental focus. You can't just want success. You've got to think success. Your mindset determines your grind. If your thoughts are filled with doubt, fear, and negativity, guess what? You're going to sabotage your own progress. But if your mind is filled with purpose, with confidence, with belief, you'll be unstoppable. You've got to get in the habit of telling yourself the truth, not the lie. The lie says you're too old, too young, too late. The truth says you're ready, you're equipped, and you were born for this. Which voice are you listening to? Focus also means doing the work even when you don't feel like it. The grind isn't always exciting. The path to your dream isn't always pretty. There will be days you're tired, days you're discouraged, days you'll question if it's worth it. And on those days, you need to remember your why. Why did you start? Who are you doing this for? What's the cost of staying where you are versus fighting for where you want to be? Your why is your fuel. Your why is what will push you past your excuses, past your pain, past your breaking point. You've got to train your environment to match your focus. What are you watching? Who are you listening to? What are you feeding your mind? You can't expect to live a focused life if you're surrounded by chaos. Cut out the noise. Get around people who speak life into you. People who push you, not pacify you. People who see your vision and remind you to keep going when you feel like quitting. You weren't meant to do it all alone, but you were meant to choose who goes with you. And here's the truth. Greatness is on the other side of focus. Your breakthrough is on the other side of discipline, but only if you stay locked in. Stop stopping. Stop pausing. Here's the truth. Greatness is on the other side of focus. Your breakthrough is on the other side of discipline, but only if you stay locked in. Stop stopping. Stop pausing your purpose every time life gets uncomfortable. Stay the course. Keep showing up. Keep building. Because while you're grinding, while you're sacrificing, while you're saying no to what's easy and yes to what's necessary, the world is making room for your gift. So if you're tired, rest, but don't quit. If you feel lost or focus, but don't retreat, because you're closer than you think. And when you finally walk into the life you've been dreaming about, it won't be luck. It will be because you stayed focused when it was hard, when it was lonely, when it felt impossible. And that kind of focus, that kind of discipline, that kind of heart, that's what changes lives. That's what builds legacies. That's what turns ordinary people into legends. Your purpose every time life gets uncomfortable. Stay the course, keep showing up, keep building, because while you're grinding, while you're sacrificing, while you're saying no to what's easy and yes to what's necessary, the world is making room for your gift. So, if you're tired, rest, but don't quit. If you feel lost or focus, but don't retreat because you're closer than you think. And when you finally walk into the life you've been dreaming about, it won't be luck. It will be because you stayed focused when it was hard, when it was lonely, when it felt impossible. And that kind of focus, that kind of discipline, that kind of heart, that's what changes lives. That's what builds legacies. That's what turns ordinary people into legends. Everybody wants success, but not everybody is willing to go all in. You see, commitment is not just something you say, it's something you live. It's not a contract you sign when things are good and walk away from when it gets tough. Real commitment shows up when life gets inconvenient. It shows up when the excitement fades, when the results don't come fast enough, when the people around you stop clapping. That's when your commitment speaks the loudest, not in your words, but in your actions. You've got to commit even when it's uncomfortable, because comfort is a liar. Comfort will whisper in your ear and say, "You've done enough." Comfort will tell you, "Take it easy, you deserve a break." Comfort will try to rock you to sleep in the middle of your purpose. But greatness lives on the other side of discomfort. It lives in the zone where excuses die and decisions are born. You have to decide, not hope, not wish. Decide that you're going to show up every day, no matter what. You see, some people dabble in their goals. They tiptoe toward their dreams. But you can't make your mark on the world with 1 foot in and 1 foot out. You've got to burn the boats, baby. No plan B. No back door. When you commit, truly commit, you put everything on the line. Your time, your energy, your heart, your fight. That's how dreams are built. That's how legacies are born. And let me tell you something, you won't always feel like it. There will be days you wake up and feel like quitting. That's normal. You're not weak for feeling tired, but you are responsible for how you respond to that feeling. Will you let your emotions control your mission? Or will your mission control your emotions? Champions learn to keep going when their feelings say stop. Winners keep moving forward even when motivation runs dry. Why? Because they're committed, and commitment doesn't care about convenience. You've got to learn how to stay committed through the storms. Life is not going to hand you a dream on a silver platter. No, it's going to test you. It's going to throw delays, detours, and disappointments your way. But those aren't signs to quit. Their opportunities to grow, to sharpen your resolve, to prove how bad you want it. Anybody can be excited at the beginning, but only the committed cross the finish line. Commitment also means doing the small things with excellence. See, we often get caught up in the big moments, the highlight reel. But your destiny is shaped in the quiet hours when nobody is watching. It's forged in the sacrifices you make behind the scenes, in the consistency of your grind, in the discipline of your routine, every rep in the gym, every extra hour of study, every phone call you make when you feel like hiding. That's commitment. That's the difference, maker. Stop waiting for permission to go all in. Stop waiting for perfect conditions, for all the stars to align. They won't. You've got to act with what you've got right now. Progress over perfection. Effort over excuses. When you show life you're serious, life will show you results. But it starts with you. You've got to look yourself in the mirror and say, no matter what happens, I'm not backing down, I'm not giving up. I'm committed to becoming everything I was born to be. And yes, commitment may cost you. It might cost you sleep, it might cost you relationships, it might cost you comfort, but the price of regret is far greater than the price of commitment. You don't want to wake up years from now wondering what could have been. You don't want to look back and realize you talked yourself out of your own breakthrough. So don't dabble. Don't halfway chase your dream. Don't let fear, fatigue, or failure break your vow to yourself. Be relentless, be unwavering, be committed. Because when you commit fully, not halfway, not sometimes, but fully, life bends in your direction. Doors open, strength rises, opportunities appear. Not because they were never there, but because you finally had the courage to meet them halfway. So the next time you're tempted to quit, remember what you promised yourself. Remember why you started, and then recommit again and again, because commitment isn't a one-time decision. It's a daily declaration, a daily grind, a daily victory. And if you keep showing up, keep giving your best, and keep standing strong, life will have no choice but to yield to your will. You were not created to fit in. You were born to stand out, to rise above, to walk a path that few are bold enough to travel. There is something unique and irreplaceable within you, something that can't be copied, cloned, or repeated. You've got a calling, a dream, a fire, but you can't let the world make you forget who you are. You were born to win, and it's time you started acting like it. Too often we allow our surroundings to dictate our identity. People who gave up on their own dreams try to convince you to let go of yours. You hear things like, be realistic, or that's too hard, or nobody from around here ever made it. But just because they couldn't do it doesn't mean you can't. Just because they couldn't see the vision doesn't mean it isn't real. See, what's inside you is not up for negotiation. Your worth is not dependent on someone else's recognition. You were born to win, but you have to believe it before you see it. Victory starts in your mind. If you see yourself as average, you'll perform at an average level. If you see yourself as a failure, you'll start sabotaging every opportunity that comes your way. But if you start to see yourself as a winner, as someone who gets back up, as someone who defies the odds, then you'll start walking, talking, and thinking like a champion. Your mind is your battleground. You can't control everything that happens to you, but you can control how you respond, how you think, and what you choose to believe about yourself. Don't you dare let fear keep you from your greatness. Fear will always show up before the breakthrough. It's a test. It's life asking you, how bad do you want it? Most people run when fear comes knocking, but winners answer the door. They look fear in the face and say, you don't own me. You don't get to decide who I become. Courage is not the absence of fear, it's deciding that what you want is more important than what you're afraid of. So if you're scared, good. That means you're close to something powerful. Walk through the fear. Your future is waiting on the other side. You were born to rise, not to rust. Too many people settle in life. They stop growing, stop stretching, stop dreaming. They get comfortable in the routine, but comfort kills purpose. If you're not growing, you're dying, and deep down you know you are meant for more. That's why you feel restless. That's why no matter how much you try to ignore the voice inside, it keeps whispering, there's more for you, and there is. But you've got to be bold enough to break out of the box the world put you in. Don't just exist live, don't just survive, thrive, don't just dream, do. And let me tell you something powerful, your past does not define you. I don't care how many mistakes you've made. I don't care how many times you fell, how many people walked away, or how badly life broke your heart. That doesn't change your identity. That doesn't change your destiny. You're not your failures, you're not your setbacks, you're not what happened to you, you are what you decide to become. You were born to win, not to wallow in defeat, so pick yourself up, wipe your tears. Straighten your back, and keep moving forward. When life knocks you down, and it will, don't stay there. Winners fall too, champions cry too, but they don't live on the ground, they don't make camp in failure. They rise again and again and again. That's the spirit that lives in you. That's the DNA you carry. You're not average. You're not ordinary. You're powerful beyond measure, but you've got to own it. You've got to believe it. You've got to walk in it, talk in it, live in it. So the next time you doubt yourself, the next time fear creeps in, the next time someone tries to shrink your vision, remind yourself, I was born to win. I may struggle, I may stumble, but I will rise. I will fight. I will win. Because that's who I am, and nothing, no person, no circumstance, no obstacle can stop someone who knows who they are and refuses to quit.